Today in this corporate citizen conversation, we have Mandar Karanjkar, co-founder and trustee of Baithak Foundation, and he is also a consultant, author, speaker, and a musician based in Pune. Now, my first question to you, sir, you, in the beginning, you did law, and then you moved on to mechanical engineering, and then you moved to writing, corporate communication, NGO to promote Indian music. Now, did you do this to enjoy greater professional development opportunities or to do what you are passionate about?
Right. So, it's very interesting, the question. So, I wanted to be a lawyer from very early age because my father worked as a judge. He worked with the judiciary. So I was fascinated by law. I was good at elocution. I used to win all those debate and elocution competitions, and everybody would say, he's a judge's son and he will be a good lawyer or a judge. So, but ultimately I first did my engineering from COEP in mechanical. Then I got myself an admission in law. But the question that you are asking is, what drove, this transition, these decisions?
Passion.
So, when I was in my engineering college, I realized that I like to write and talk to people. So I started a blog for myself, in very first year itself. And slowly I started interviewing people for this blog, like famous musicians or industrialists, other successful people. And then I also came to know that I don't like engineering much. I was good at engineering, but I realized that this is not something which I want to do for my entire life. It might give me good money, but I don't want to do it. So that's why I said, okay, I took a part-time job in a startup. I didn't take my placement. And I started working as a writer, freelancer, and learning music and all those things. I got an opportunity to interview Dr. Naushad Forbes of Forbes Marshall for my blog. And after interview, he said, okay, you like to blog, why don't you blog for my company? So I said, okay, I'm very happy. So I got a job offer right there, which I took up. And that's how I entered into communication landscape. I used to write blogs for Forbes Marshall. I used to do content marketing, search engine optimization.
Column writer for Indian Express?
No, for their internal things.
Okay.
I have written columns for Indian Express, for Lok Satta, for Sakal, Lokmat, and all those news. See, that writing can give you money to sustain.
Okay.
Like if you write a column in a newspaper, you get an honorarium. It's not enough for you to make a living out of it. So that's why I always had this job in Forbes Marshall, which supported me financially. But after a point, I also realized that my real true calling is music.
Okay.
So I said, I want to try this out. And this is the time to try. So I again spoke to Dr. Naushad Forbes. I said, I really want to try this out. Can I come 3 days a week to office? He said, if you really want to try this out, why don't you do it? Come 3 days a week. And then I started along with my wife, Baithak Foundation.
Okay.
So we said, okay, let's work with children. Let's see what music can bring into their lives. And then I liked it so much that I quit my full-time job and I just do consulting now. So that's how it has evolved. So the urge to do this was what I want to do.
Okay.
It has not always necessarily led to an increase in my earnings, so to say, or all those things, or even professional development, so to say. I've become more happy every time I took this decision.
Now, you have a belief that the music has power to transform individuals and society. That's why you started this Baithak Foundation. Now, I want to know, how will the transformation come in this competing and contending world where everyone is running behind success, power, money, and nobody has time?
Absolutely.
So, can you tell me how will...
Definitely.
Yeah.
This is not one world. There are many worlds which exist in one world. So you are very correct when you are saying, that there is increasing competition, there is increasing stress, cutthroat competition, comparison. But what we also see is we work with a lot of cities, schools in, tier 2 cities, tier 1 cities, villages, even in tribal areas. The mindset is changing. Even in small villages, we meet parents who say, our kids can earn money anyway. We are very confident. But they should know how to spend that money and how to lead a meaningful life. So we have this increasing trend in us, in this world itself, where there are many people who have seen the futility. Like, for example, almost all the parents who themselves have gone through it and who are very successful, they say we don't want our child to go through it. They are sending their children to alternate schools. They are saying take drop years, see the world around you, go here, go there, try this out, change your stream from science, go to art. So yes, still the majority is in that race. But what arts can do is, arts can give you, and music especially, can give you that taste of joy. See, once I quit my job, many people said, Ki, would you go back? I even got offers, huge amount of money. Because apparently I'm good at what I do in communication consulting. So some of my clients, insane amounts, you come full time. But I said, once I know the joy of sipping tea in my house with my wife, 10 a.m. every morning, I can't go back to office, no matter how much money you give to me.
Okay.
So I think once you get that taste of peace, silence, joy, that doesn't mean every day I'm in my house sitting with my wife and sipping tea, because I have my own house where office where people work. But I think that taste tells you how to do things differently. In our office, the culture is very different. So that's the point. We are giving children those moments of peace and beauty and joy.
Now you are co-founder and partner of Seed Shower, which is into implementing strategic communication solutions for companies. Now my next question is with relation to strategic communication. Right. Can you identify some key pillars of strategic communication that can significantly impact a startup's trajectory towards success?
See, right now we are doing all these activities, communication, marketing, just as a tick box kind of a thing, just because everyone else is doing. They are posting 5 posts on LinkedIn every week. I also want to do it. They are writing blogs. I want to do it. Someone is creating podcasts. I want to have my podcasts. What happens is you end up spending a lot of money, wasting a lot of time, creating a lot of junk, which is useful for nobody. So what I advise companies is take good amount of time to understand what your consumer, what your client is actually facing as a problem, and how do you solve that, and just keep talking about that. It's as simple as that. What value do you add? Like, for example, in Baithak, we have a very simple value proposition. We believe that every child should have access to music, and we believe music has potential to transform individuals and societies. This is powerful enough. We don't need to create lots of jargons, variations, complex. Same message. We will give it in many ways. We'll create a nice video. We will take a nice picture. We will have a child speaking, how that child's experience was in a concert. So I think this is where, and another big problem that I see is that, communication is how you are seen and how you are judged. So no matter how good product I have, I'm immediately judged by how I look. And that's why design is very important. If you see companies who invested in good design, Apple is a very good example. They've benefited tremendously. I look at communication also as a design, because how will I come to know about a company for the first time? I stumble on their website, I stumble on LinkedIn, I stumble on a YouTube video, maybe an Instagram post. You get judged by that. You might have a very good product, but your post, if it's shabby, they will say these people are not professional enough. And what I find is, at many places, the top management is not involved. They will say communication is somebody else's job. They will hire someone to do it. Then it is detached from your soul. Because a person who joins your company cannot understand your soul. They can understand product. They can write about product. So whenever I take on any client, I say for first 3 months, you have to pay me, but you cannot ask me what is my output. I won't give you any output, because I want my input first. Who are you? I talk to every person in the company. I sit in their client calls. I listen to what their clients say about them. After this, then I say, okay, this is how we should talk, and this is what I should talk. So I think these 2-3 things are very important.
Now, coming back to music, you are a musician. And with AI coming in, I want to know from you how will AI affect
Yeah.
music and musician?
Right.
And like, will it be good or bad for the music or the musician?
Absolutely. So see, if you look at India particularly and overall East, music being sold is a very new thing. Like way back, we had a system of patronage. Like a musician would sing in a temple, for instance, and the temple would pay the musician. After that, it were palaces. The musician would perform in palaces, and the king would give patronage. This is your house, Sonecha, Mohra, whatever. The king would give. Now, with all the changing dynamics, music has become a product. See, we never looked at music as a product. Like if you go to temples in South India, you will see highly evolved classical music being played in temple free of cost. You go, you take darshan, you take your round, and you are listening to it. So for us in India particularly, you talk to any artist and they will say people don't want to buy music. Any artist will cry, any organizer will cry, tickets are not sold, people don't want to pay, they want free music. Because we had a different mechanism of patronage. Now, music has become a product. And anything that has become a product is the first thing that is hit by AI. Content as a product will get hit first. Video as a product. So you can see like this Canva coming, visual design gone completely. AI is taking over that entire content is already gone. You know, many people use Chat GPT, that as a product. But that being said, there is still a lot of value for music as an experience. So I'll give you an example. Like jingle.
Will AI bring that depth?
See, it might bring. It will bring. That's fine. But ultimately, a human wants to connect to a human, not an AI. And that's why this example which I was saying, like, I will make a jingle. Let's say if I have a company and I am creating a corporate film, I will use AI generated music as a backdrop. That's okay. But you know, last year, some of our friends, we organized a music festival called Sannidhyam. So there is a very fancy 5-star fort hotel near Pune called Jadavgarh. So that entire place is booked for 3 days. You get best of the artists and tickets are priced around ₹1,00,000 for one person. And without any marketing, it got sold. So we had more than, like we had to refuse many people. There is no space. People came from Australia, USA, Europe, Singapore, Dubai, India, everywhere. So people want to relate to music on a very different level now. You know, they want to be with the artist. They want to see the artist like this, eat with the artist, talk to the artist. And I think AI is forcing us to be more human now, in a way. And that is where actually there is an opportunity.
Now, you have talked a lot on the topic of Maya. And then Indian philosophy also talks a lot about it. Now, the corporate world is also a kind of Maya, an illusion, which we live in. And then internet has come, there's virtual world. All we are locked up on our mobiles and all. So we are living in a Maya which is in a Maya.
In a Maya, absolutely.
So are we stuck in it, or like, what's your say on that subject?
So, you know, like if we look at the scriptures you mentioned, they never say Maya is bad. Okay. Because Maya also moves forward. It moves you forward in your life. Like if a child, if it says this is all Maya and stops eating, there's no life, right? So a child is attracted to mother, to toys. That's how the child develops. So Maya also has a role in developing us. But at one point, we had to just realize this is illusion. Like Krishna told Arjuna to fight. He didn't say, okay, now you know it's all Maya, go back. He said, what you are supposed to do, you have to do it anyway. But you should have this understanding, I am not doing this. I happen to be at this point with this option to do it, that's why it's being done. I think in corporate world also, for instance, the answer is not rejecting it. The answer is not running away from it, boycotting it, but you knowing why I am in this world and what I want to do here. Like for example, as I said, you know, many of my clients, they would say, come to our office and, you know, because the CEO is very busy. So they would say कि Monday, Tuesday come and sit full day. Sometimes CEO will come for 1 hour, talk to him, meeting. Otherwise it won't happen. I say I can't do this because I am not in corporate world for this. I know there are many people who will give me decent money for this kind of an engagement, and I want to do that. I think once you understand corporate world as Maya within Maya, you get that clarity of your terms to engage with it. And that is what will liberate you from it.
Now, one last question which I want to say is like, as a millennial,
Uh-huh. Yeah.
you play multiple roles. You know, you are a multifaceted person.
Yeah.
Now, how are you connecting with the Gen Z and the Gen Y?
Yeah.
Who are of different mindset?
Right. So now, interesting question. In our own team, Baithak Foundation's team, we have 5 Gen Zs who work. They're full-time, they work with us. I would say it's fun working with them.
Okay.
Yeah, they forget things. Okay, like they will forget key, they come to get the key but forget mobile.
Okay.
Then they get the mobile but they will keep the door open. You know, this happens sometimes with them. But what I really feel is that they are very kind in their heart. See, we learnt many things hard way. Like I am still much younger than you, and I'm sure in your time, the things were much harsher. The reality was much harsher. In our time, my parents were in pretty much better position, and that's why we were safeguarded to a certain extent from the reality. The next generation is absolutely safeguarded. So many things that you know as a common sense, they don't come to them. You have to tell, which is okay, which is anyway our job to do. But once we do it, they start picking those things up. They're very smart, very motivated.
And their connection with music, sir?
Also. So all these 5 members who work in my team, for instance, they are all musicians. So they also perform. They teach. They learn from their own gurus. On top of that, they do this job. They're doing a lot, you know, like for example, we have someone called Atharva in our team. He's a Bharatanatyam dancer. He teaches around 20 students. So imagine every day he's teaching for 5 hours. Then he goes to his guru to learn every day. After that, he is in our office where also the job is very demanding. He has to work with 15 schools. He has to coordinate, go there, visit there, everything. And then documentation, social media. He's doing it perfectly well. So I think they are good at even multitasking.
And what's your future plans, sir, like from here forth?
I really don't know.
That's a very nice answer.
Yeah. So one thing that I'm doing is that I and my wife, we have already started building a small house near Dapoli, near the coast. I definitely want to reduce the pace of my life.
Okay.
Not that it's very fast, but we end up doing lots of things over there. But I want to spend some more time at even slower pace now. So
thank you very much, sir, for
thanks
giving
a lot.